she would go up and she would talk to them and speak to them. And our church has gotten so big so fast, you just constantly trying to hug and talk to everybody. And sometimes it's just a wave. But I told her, I said, that's what I feel like God's called you to do. The next week, a friend of mine, he drives a Nabisco truck in Goldsboro. He prays all the time. That's all he does is pray. And he'll call me. He said, man, God showed me this and God showed me that. And he called me one day. He said, I had a weird thought about Holly the other day. It was like the week after we had talked about that. And I said, well, what is it? Because I have a lot of weird thoughts about her, but the see if it's lining up. And he said, I saw y'all were at the church. He had never been to our church. And he said, and there was a long line of women. He said, it looked like miles. And he said, and she was standing at the front door, and she was hugging every one of them. And I was like, oh my God. And I didn't want to tell him. And I said, keep going. And he said, all I kept thinking is there's healing in her hugs. Amen. And I told her what God had showed him. I hadn't talked to this guy in probably 2 years. And he calls me and tells me that. That was confirmation.